Arsenal is playing its last game of the season, and this is when they're obviously going to be given their Premier League title after playing Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Now today, we come in here to break down a little bit about this game of football that you need to know. And then later, we see what the game of football will be like. Rokani David is my name. Rokani Media Football it is. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is here. And let's obviously head into this beautiful game of football. No reason for us not to play this game of football. And what a better way to prepare for the game they have to play against the side known as PSG. Remember, when they play on Sunday, they'll be in action again on a side known as Budapest in there for you. So Crystal Palace also has to play on Wednesday, so that means they're obviously going to be resting some of their players, and even Arsenal will be resting their players because I do think it won't really make sense. Crystal Palace is 15th with 45 points. Arsenal is topping the Premier League table, match day 37 and match day 38, and they're having 82 points. Crystal Palace has scored 40 goals. Arsenal is going to hit to score 69. 49 goals conceded by Arsenal. Crystal Palace has conceded 26. Sorry about that. Crystal Palace has conceded 49 goals. Arsenal has conceded 26 goals, right? 305 shots by Crystal Palace, 139 shots on target for Crystal Palace, and 166 shots for Crystal Palace were off target. 129 shots were blocked by the opponents that Crystal Palace went ahead to play in there for you. Now, from there, for Arsenal, they've had 375 shots for Arsenal, 180 shots for a club known as Arsenal on target, 195 were off target, 161 were shots blocked by the opponents. Crystal Palace has averaged a passing accuracy of 78.14 per game, and Arsenal has averaged a passing accuracy of 84.1% per game. That is it. 9 points gained from a losing position in there for you. And obviously, even Arsenal is going to hit, obviously, gain 9 points from losing positions. Now, Crystal Palace has dropped 21 points from a winning position. And then Arsenal too has gone ahead to drop 9 points from winning position in there for you. Last fixture for Crystal Palace, they do 2-2 with Brentford, and Arsenal beat Burnley by 1-0, a goal that was scored by Kai Havertz. And they've played 54 games together, 5 won by Crystal Palace. Arsenal is going to hit win 33, 16 draws have been registered in there for you. So, in the previous games, EFL Cup, Arsenal 1-1 with Crystal Palace. Premier League, Arsenal beat Crystal Palace 1-0 at the Emirates this season. Last season, they drew 2-2 at the Emirates in there for you. So that's Arsenal all for you, and that's what they have in there. So from there, we obviously head to what we call the team news. For Arsenal, Mikel Merino and Julian Timber are back in training, but I don't think that they'll make the match squad in there for you. But for Crystal Palace, they do have Max Lacroix, Chad Reid, and Chris Richards all suffered injuries, and you can't obviously see them for you in here. But the manager will try to do the needful in there for you. But Bonasa has at least recovered in there for you. But Cheick Doucouré is having fitness issues, and ex-Arsenal striker Eddie Nketiah is out with a thigh injury. That's the news that you're really getting in through from a side known as Crystal Palace. Now, that takes us to the probable starting 11 for the club of Arsenal. And let's obviously jail down into this. System 4-3-3. And we're obviously going to be having the following people to start. In goal, I think David Raya will be rested. No need to obviously bring him on. He has gone ahead to obviously win the Golden Glove. And I think Kepa Arrizabalaga will obviously be brought into this. Because if you are Arteta and you front Raya in this game and Billy gets injured, everyone will be looking at you, because the bigger fish to fry is PSG, and that is the Champions League finale that will be played on Saturday next week. Right back, with White out until the end of the season, right? Then Timber back, but I don't think that you obviously get a nod into this game of football. I do have a player called Salmon playing as a right back for me. I really play Salmon as a right back in there. Left back, with Ricardo Carafiori, one of the starters in the game of PSG. I don't start him in this game. I bring in through a player called Lewis Kelly to play as a left back. Central defense, left-sided centre back. I obviously put in a player known as Hinkapie. Right-sided centre back, I bring in a player known as Mosquera in there for you. That's what I humbly do. Now, in the midfield, CDM, I go with Christian Nogard to play into that position. Number 8, I play Martin Zubimendi in there for you. And I obviously go in for a player called Max Dowman as a number 10 in this particular encounter. Then right forward, I go in for Noni Madueke, right? Left forward, I go in for Gabriel Martinelli. Leading the line, I go in for Gabriel Jesus. That's what I go in for. Now, for that team, that means the following players will be rested: Raya, Saliba, Ricardo Carafiori, Gabriel Magalhaes, Declan Rice, right? Odegaard, Eze, Saka, Trossard, and Victor Gyökeres. Almost the entire starting 11 will obviously be really rested for this particular encounter. So that's what I believe the manager will do, and he'll obviously make substitutions and really play in some players for some 10-15 minutes to get in some match fitness. But obviously precaution will be very, very much in observatory, because you wouldn't like to see things happening there for you. Having a big game, Champions League final, you don't need to mess up in there for you. So for Crystal Palace, they'll also make changes, and they'll go for a 3-4-1 with Benitez in goal, Camvot-Reid and Lacroix in there for you. Then Munoz, Lema, Hughes and Sosa. Then Sir Johnson, and then Stuart Larson will obviously lead the line in there for you. So Arsenal will be having that to go, and I know they will obviously do the needful. This is the second time Crystal Palace have faced the Premier League champions after having the title confirmed, with the Eagles drawing 1-1 with Liverpool at Anfield last season. So they almost call for draws in such games. They obviously coming through. Crystal Palace have lost 6 of their last 7 Premier League games against Arsenal, with the exception being a 2-2 draw at the Emirates in April last season. So that is it. Arsenal have lost just 2 of their 16 Premier League away games against Crystal Palace, 10 wins and 4 draws, winning the last 3 by an aggregate of 8-1. You've heard of that. As a top flight side, Crystal Palace have never lost when playing their final league game of the season at home. 8 wins and 4 draws, most recently beating Aston Villa by 5-0 in 2023-2024. That is Crystal Palace. So my prediction is a 2-2 draw between Arsenal and Crystal Palace. I don't know what your thoughts are about this, but I'd like to confirm to you that indeed that it is, and that's what we have for you in here. And continue to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I call upon for your reactions in the comment section below about this probable starting 11. Would you go in for the first starters for the club of Arsenal, or you would not? That's what we obviously calling in for in here onto the Rokani Media Football. And your predictions are hugely welcome. Mine is 2-2 draw, and I know the manager will obviously bring in Gyökeres, maybe a Declan Rice, maybe a Gabriel Magalhaes in there for you, to see how things really pan out as we prepare for a team known as PSG in the coming weekend. So Thank you for watching through. I sign out for now. See you later. Rokani David is my name. And don't forget to keep it Rokani Media Football by subscribing. And after subscribing, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. Bye-bye.